Greetings, 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 greetings. What's going on? What's going on, lineage? This is your brother Chief Kalanaga with another video, man. This is another one. Let me go ahead and make sure I got audio on this. Greetings, 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 greetings. What's going on? What's going on? All right. Got audio on Facebook. I'm assuming I got audio on YouTube. We're about to get into this one. Hope everybody's having an amazing sun rest. All right. And let us get into this. You may share the link if you want to. If not, then, I guess it's all love, right? Give you guys a couple of minutes to get on this feed. In the meantime, I'm going to take this time to acknowledge my righteous ancestors, all the righteous gods and lords of the universe. All right. What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? Kenneth Faust Jr., what's going on, brother? What's going on? Do me a favor, man. Let me know where you checking this live from right now. Put it in the chat. I'm actually in the islands right now. Halito, lineage, or CEO, Wagwan. My Briqua, what's the deal? What's the deal? What's the deal? All right. So I'm gonna get into this video. I'm gonna start. All right. Anybody who missed the live, I'm certainly sure they could catch the replay. Okay. Always remember, greetings, 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 King. Memphis. We got Memphis, Tennessee in the building. Like I said, I'm in the islands right now. I'm in the lovely island of Rosa Dominica. That's where I'm at. Right now, they had the Creole Festival Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So the events were amazing, man. It was beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the war is still going on in heaven. Okay. Now, this right here is a deep conversation. Of course, videos and lessons are always for knowledge purposes. I'm not even going to say for educational purposes because to me, education is just underrated. Most educational people are brainwashed. All right. We got Brother Clifford, Florida in the building. All right. Welcome to the build. Welcome to the build. All right. We got Nathaniel on Facebook. Greetings, lineage. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Okay. Okay. So we are going to start. Well, I'm going to start. All right. And the war is still going on in heaven. Like I've always taught and I continue to teach, a lot of what we read in these books, in these religious books, whether it's the Quran, whether it's the Bible, any type of religious text, right? We have to know that all these things are allegory. Okay. Until you get that, trust me, you will never tap into the truth. If you think all these things were meant to be taken literally, meaning that these people actually existed, then you'll never get it. You'll never get it. It was symbolic, a representation of your story, each individual, okay? More so from a spiritual perspective. And of course, a little bit of history, geography was added to make it seem real. But none of these people existed. They were all fictional. So when we are talking about heaven, what do we mean when we say heaven? Most times people think that the great God will fall from the sky because that's where they actually think heaven is, right? That's why Bob Marley made the song. I think most people think that the great God will fall from the sky, something like that. But what you are not being taught is that heaven is actually your mind. All right. That's what heaven is. Heaven is your mind. All right. And heaven is actually within. Hence, if you go in the Bible, it will tell you that the kingdom of heaven is within. So therefore, why are people looking for God outside of themselves? It just doesn't make sense. You feel me? But heaven, the original concept of heaven is the mind. All right. Even before the mind was physical, and even before the mind was visible, the mind was invisible. The reason why it was invisible is because there was no eyes, there was no physical eyes to see. All right. Before there was a mind, before there was a physical conscious mind, all right, the mind was invisible. And therefore that invisible mind became visible because from that visible mind manifested beings that had that developed consciousness. Okay. So with that being said, we have heaven And within heaven, if you read in the book, you'll realize that it says that Satan, okay, who they classified as Lucifer, which they are actually two different individuals, but within Christianity, they lump Lucifer and Satan and the devil to be the same entity. Nowhere in the Bible does it specifically say that Lucifer is Satan. All right. All Satan means is adversary. So what are we going to do at this time is we're going to look at the word Satan, look at the etymology of the word Satan. Satan. Let's look at the etymology of the word Satan. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me just go ahead and share this link. The etymology of the word Satan. Here we go. All right. So basically, Satan, it says the proper name of the supreme evil spirit and great adversary of humanity in Christianity. So Satan is only a Christian doctrine concept. Okay. Satan only existed in Christendom. That was invented by Christians. Now, what does Satan really means? Satan means in Hebrew, Shatan or Satan, which means what? Adversary, one who plots against another. So therefore, anybody could be Satan. You see, Satan is not, this man with a red outfit, with horns, with a pitchfork, standing on some hot coals, trying to take you to hell. All right? That is not who Satan was. That's an illusion that was created by Christianity to, of course, instigate fear in people so that they could worship their demonic Lord gods. All right? So anybody could be Satan. When we actually know the etymology of the word Satan, it means adversary. Okay? Adversary. That's all Satan means. Once again, may I reiterate, Satan is not this imaginary man with pitchfork and two shiny teeth, two sharp teeth in the front with a smirk, so-called like a devilish smile with a pitchfork and a long tail and a red outfit, standing on some coals, waiting to burn you up forever. No, that is not who Satan is. All Satan means is adversary. So therefore, anybody could be Satan. All right. Now, this is the etymology of Satan. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the Hebrew Bible lexicon. And you may ask yourself, well, Chief, what does all that have to do with heaven? Well, we have to break down the etymology of Satan because we were taught that Satan, aka Lucifer, was the one who fought against God, right? But again, Lucifer is not Satan, and Satan is not Lucifer. That's what we were told. Satan means adversary. Lucifer literally means the light bearer. That's all Lucifer means. Okay, the shining one. All right. So let us go look at Satan in the Hebrew, in the Strong's. All right, Strong's Concordance online. So people don't say, "Oh, well, Chief, you're not using stuff from the Bible." Well, I'm going to use the Strong Concordance. Let us go. And I'll ask you what's your excuse now, because I'm going to show it to you from the Hebrew Bible perspective. Okay, I know there's one that I normally use, the King James. Okay, since the King James is the popular one, let us see what we could find here. Right, let me see if it might come up. Let's see, Satan. Let's go here in the Strongs and see what we get for Satan. All right, Satan search. Let me see if anything comes up for that. All right, we have Satan. All right, no. They just basically, let me see. The Lord, it says, and the Lord that said unto Satan. All right, so let's click on this and see what we get here. All right, here we go. Okay, word summary. Satan. You see, even in the Hebrew lexicon, what does it say? Satan, adversary. And it says also the name of the superhuman adversary of God. You see, so Satan originally did not, once again, mean what people are taught it means. Satan has always meant adversary, but then it says also, in addition to. But originally, Satan meant adversary. That's all it is. And you have the phonetic spelling, which is shatan, all right, masculine noun. Short definition: adversary, also the name of the superhuman adversary of God, meaning an opponent, Satan, the arch enemy of good. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. All right, boom. Let me stop sharing. So now that we see both etymology, greetings, Sister Karen. All right, kick rocks, what it is. So now that we see definitively that Satan is not this spooky character that we've been taught of in religion, all Satan means is adversary. All right. So when we say there was a war in heaven, what are we talking about? They're talking about a mental war. It was mental before everything was manifested, before there was a manifested earth, before there was a manifested physical. You had the mind, and everything came from the universal invisible mind, right? But remember, when we are talking about, people talk about God and people don't realize, once again, there are many gods, but there are two major gods. You have a God of righteousness and you have a God of unrighteousness. You have the good God and you have the evil God. That's why when you read your Bible, it seems contradictory, because one is talking about good and one is talking about bad. One is talking about eternal love and one is talking about, hey, go rape, go kill. Now, how is this even possible? When in the book it tells you that God is good all the time and all the time God is good. If that is true, then why is this same good God, who's good all the time and all the time he is good, is doing evil? It is because it's two different entities. It is two different entities, two absolute entities. Okay? So you have an absolute good source or energy that people call God, and then you have an evil source or entity that people call Satan. So therefore, Satan is the adversary of the good God, and even to the good God, Satan, even to Satan, the good God is his adversary. You feel me? Because they are rivals. So once again, even if you're doing good, you could still be somebody's Satan, because they do not vibrate with what you and the energy you bring in. You feel me? So for instance, right, I could be a good guy and I'm always doing good, but somebody could be bad, and no matter what I do, they look at me as an adversary. Now you see how appropriate the word Satan applies to me, even if I'm not the bad one, because once again, all it means is adversary. I have to, stress that so it will make a lot of sense. So from the very inception, we have what we call Satan, who went up, because they keep telling you Satan is Lucifer. That's not true. Satan is not Lucifer. But if we are going to go based on the Bible, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. And it said that Lucifer rebelled against God, which is good. What they're not telling you is it's the evil or the bad energy rebelled against the good energy. The good energy was called God, and the bad energy was called Lucifer or Satan, right? How is that? How was that possible? Because you would have to ask yourself, well, how could Satan overcome God and end up ruling the world? What we are not being taught, once again, is this: it was one universal mind. Okay, one universal mind, and in that universal mind, there is an absolute path to goodness and there's an absolute path to evil. Both of these energies, they run parallel to each other. Okay, so they are never supposed to mix. That's why a good God who's good all the time cannot do evil and will never do evil. Because why? There's a negative energy that's already there that could manifest all the evil, so that this good God could stay pure all the time. So when I tell people, when people hear me speak and they, oh, well, you don't believe in God. No, I don't believe in your God, because your God could do evil. You see, the God that I subscribe to cannot do evil, because the God that I subscribe to, he, she, it is good all the time, and all the time it is good. So how can it do evil at all? You see, that's where the contradiction comes in. But what you're not being taught is there are two different entities. I have to keep reiterating that. So the first war in heaven is within the mind, okay, within the universal mind, when the good energy, which is what we call the good God, and the negative energy, what we call evil or Lucifer, when they became conscious, because they were not always conscious, because why? Consciousness did not exist because everything was invisible. Even when it became visible, there was no consciousness to perceive what it was. But when consciousness got developed, then they realized, well, hold up, one is good, one is evil. They cannot mix. So there had to be a war, okay, an internal war within the internal mind. That's why sometimes, you know, when you finna make some decisions and you have some things to do, one voice is telling you something and the other voice is telling you something else. That's equivalent to a war in heaven because it's the mind. Heaven is the mental. You have different levels of the mind. Okay? I mean, the different levels of heaven. Your body, your avatar is actually one form of heaven. Your mind is a higher state of heaven as well. It's higher, it's a higher state than the physical body. All right? It's a higher ascension. You feel me? So when that war took place, it was the negative aspect of the negative energy that was literally going against the positive energy. Okay? And there was a war. Who's going to win the war? That was the key. So therefore, what had to happen? Satan or Lucifer, the evil energy, had to fall from the highest state of mind. It was the only way for the physical body to be created. You feel me? Because the physical body is what we call a devolution. It's a degeneration, especially the type of body that we have right now. So yes, there had to be a war. So the good aspect of that positive energy, what we call the good God, did not want to fall into degeneration. So therefore, the evil Lucifer, so-called, that battle said, hey, listen, you know what? I'll be the fall guy. Let me do that. And that was the first battle in heaven. Okay, even up to this day, we are still having this heavenly battle within your own mind. And that is the main reason why I'm doing this video, so you could kind of like see what you're dealing with. Now let us go further into the Bible. When the allegorical Jesus, he went to the mount and he was tempted, all right, by a so-called serpent. Now, of course, we know snakes don't talk, right? But we're still going with the illusion or the fairy tale that snakes do talk. When Jesus said, "Get thou behind me, Satan," Jesus, the allegorical Jesus or the allegorical Yeshua, it doesn't matter what name you use, none of them was real, okay? The bottom line is this. It was his own mind. That temptation was within his own mind. And he said, "Get thou behind me, Satan." In other words, get away from the good aspect of where I'm at in my mental state right now and get behind me. You feel me? That's all it means. It is really that simple. Now, why is this relevant and what's the significance of us dealing with this situation today? Okay. When we are looking at where the state of being that our people are in right now, they are having this internal battle. It's a mental war. It's a heavenly war that's still going on because it could manifest in many ways. Let us look at it from an indigenous perspective. Okay. You may be at a point in your growth, in your ascension, in your awareness of who you are as an original American Aboriginal. Okay, as an American Aborigine, aka American Indian. You may be aware of that and you know that, and you are pursuing ways to correct that status, to update that, to make your declaration as to, hey, you know what? I know that I'm not Black. I just did my genealogy. I've been doing research and I learned that I'm not Black. I'm not from Africa. I'm not African American, but I'm actually indigenous to the Americas. You feel me? But yet still, you may be in a household with your family, your mother, your dad, your sister, your children, your husband, your wife, and they may not be on the same page. So therefore, there is no, you're in a situation where it's not equally yoked. Okay, it's not equally yoked. It's the same thing happened then when Satan, the adversary, rebelled within the universal mind. Okay, all right. So check this out. When Satan rebelled within the universal mind, okay, there was no, it was not equally yoked. It was not equally yoked. So what had to happen was this, and I'm going to digress here for a second. When you go look at Noah, Noah was the only man, and Noah was the first man, all right, where the good God and the evil God were able to be in one body, and it was equally yoked, meaning that they found rest, they found equilibrium. The higher self and the lower self existed in Noah. That's why Noah found grace. Noah found grace in both gods, the evil one and the righteous one, because it was in that body where equilibrium was found. That body was equally yoked. So you may be experiencing that heavenly war within your own domain, within your own home, because your home also represents a state of heaven. You feel me? Anywhere the I am is, whether it's internal or without, okay, wherever that area where that encompasses the I am is called heaven. So yes, the I am is in your physical body, but your physical body is in your house. So your house is an extension of heaven, of your body, and then your I am in you. You feel me? So with that being said, there is internal war in your home, in your heaven. Okay, you want to make moves, but your mother, your father, your sister, they still sleep. They're fighting against you now. They are the adversary. They are playing the role of Satan. And please take your emotions out of this. Okay, I'm not here calling your mother, your father, your husband, your wife Satan from the religious perspective that you are being taught. Okay, I'm saying that they are playing the role of Satan based on the true etymology and meaning of the word Satan, which means adversary. That's all it means, is adversary. So they are an adversary to you stepping up to claim your indigenous status. They are being Satan and being the adversary to you wanting to correct your status, to you claiming that you are American Indian. So therefore it is not equally yoked. You feel me? And you are going to experience this, because that is part of the journey. Because not everybody is going to wake up at the same time. Not everybody's going to get it at the same time. So it just goes to show you and prove to you that you have been in a relationship for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. It doesn't matter how long you and your significant other been together. That is just proof that you have been in a relationship that has not been equally yoked. When you are equally yoked, you are always going to be on the same page. Okay? You are always going to be on the same page to create this type of, what we call peace or wholesomeness in heaven. Okay? They have to be on the same page. So with that being said, at some point, the God and the Satan, they had to come to an agreement. They had to come to an agreement. Yo, listen, man, I'm good. You evil. What are we going to do? Are we going to continue to fight, or we're going to create a body where you could be in that body and I could be in that body, but this is what we're going to do. Whoever is controlling the body, we're going to make sure that that individual, that energy has free will to pick between me or to pick between you. We are going to give them a choice. You see how easy it is to break it down when you know the truth? God and Satan came together to work together. That's why when you go into the Bible, you will see that when Satan went before God, okay, the Lord God, and he said, yo, where you coming from? He said, yo, I was just going through the earth. I was just chilling, doing my thing. And then the Lord God said, well, have you considered my servant Job? Satan wasn't the one who initiated it. No. It was the Lord God. Why would the Lord God initiate Satan to go tempt one of his faithful people, which is Job? Because they were working together. They are partners. One is good, one is evil. But they have to work together to fulfill the will of that individual. You feel me? So therefore, like I said before, it was, hey, listen, you know what? That individual doesn't belong to me. That individual doesn't belong to you. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that it's all fair in this game. Okay? Give them the opportunity to choose. And that's why your individual, you are the tree of life. We are all the tree of life. However, within that same garden, there is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And we make a decision every single day to either eat or partake of the tree of good or the tree of evil. So now you are playing God, because why? Just because you are aware of the tree of good and evil, what did the Lord God say? Well, man has become like one of us. What does that mean? To know good and evil. Hence, the allegorical Jesus said in Psalms and John, ye are gods. Because you know. Now you see how easy that is. So let's bring that back to your household right now. In your household right now, there's a war going on. You feel me? Because even if a lot of people, they don't know that they haven't done extensive genealogy searches, or they haven't gone that far and convinced themselves enough that they have been here. And that's okay. That's all right, right? They're still stuck on Africa. They're still stuck on African American. They're still stuck on Black. But you are all the way in. You are in. You know you're all in. You know who you are, and you're ready to make moves. But your mother, your father, your auntie, your cousin, your sister, your brother, your husband, your wife, they're not ready. They are not ready because something in them is preventing them from moving forward. So like I said, again, there is war in heaven. First, it happens mentally because you communicate with your significant other through words, right? What are words? Words are spoken thought. Where are thoughts held? Thoughts are housed in your mind. So therefore, the war starts in the mind and then it is spoken. Now you have a decision to make, right? You have a decision to make. Just like the allegorical Jesus said, get thou behind me, Satan. Now you could either tell that to your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife. Hey, you know what? Get thou behind me, man. Listen, I know I'm indigenous. I know I'm an American Indian. Whether you want to be on this journey or not, hey, I'm going to move forward. Now, that's a decision you could make. Or you could make a decision and say, hey, listen, you know what, babe? I know you're not ready, so I'm going to put everything on hold. I cannot tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do in that situation. But I could tell you, if it were me, I can tell you what I would do. I would not allow anybody to prevent me from declaring my status as who I am. You feel me? Because nationality brings sovereignty. It's either you're going to be a slave or you are not. You see, you cannot serve two gods at the same time. You feel me? You cannot save anybody. You're absolutely correct, Supreme Health. Don't wait on no man or no woman. You feel me? Because your true sovereignty, you cannot allow your sovereignty to be based on somebody else's decision. It is really that simple. Now, as that may sound a little bit harsh, I get it. It may sound a little bit rough. I get it. It may sound even a little bit heartless. I get it. But my brothers and sisters, I am not here for likes. I am not here to appease you. I am here to give you the truth. You see, we have to realize that back in the days, we had people who were literally hanging their own people that got in their way. Now, I'm not here to tell you go hang your loved ones. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you how this is how serious this is. If they don't get it, they just don't get it. But they cannot prevent you from moving forward to secure you, your children, your mother, your father, whoever it is that's on board. Don't allow anybody to prevent you from moving forward. They are hindering your growth. They are hindering your sovereignty. You feel me? Now, let me tell y'all something. Okay? Like I said, right now, I'm in Dominica, right? And I went to DMV earlier. The Department of Motor Vehicles. They don't call it DMV, but I went to the police station, right? And I told them that I want to get a what you call it, a driver's license from Dominica. So they was like, well, of course you got your passport, but do you if you have a US or any type of license, bring that license as well. Okay. So anyway, I went to the police station, saw a couple of people who knew my mother, whatever the case was, say hi, whatever. Anyway, they sent me to the traffic department, which is actually not in the same building. So it was like I had to walk a few blocks, right? So anyway, I got there. I told him, hey, listen, I have a New York driver's license, but you know what? I want a Dominican license, right? So I gave them my passport, gave them the New York license, etc. They told me, hey, you know what? You ain't got to pay for the road test. I mean, you don't have to do the road test, just pay for the road test, right? It just didn't make sense to me. I'm paying for something that I'm not going to do. But anyway, don't matter where you go, it's a hustle. I get it. It's a hustle. So anyway, I paid for the road test and I paid the fee for the license, right? Okay. After all was said and done, I paid for it with my credit card. Okay. And then they sent me to another room where I had to go take the picture now, right? But when I went to that window, they told me that the computer was down. So I had to come back in an hour. So I went further down into the town and to get something to eat, and stuff like that. And then I went back to get it. Took me to a little room, took a picture, whatever the case is, right? So anyway, they have a spot where they want you to sign. I signed for my name. I just put all rights reserved because no matter where I'm at, I'm going to reserve my rights because I know these things are contracts, right? So anyway, I got the driver's license. I paid for the driver's license for 3 years. Okay. So it's good for 3 years. So now I have a license from Dominica. But on the license, okay, it says country of birth, Dominica. Of course, I was, born in Dominica. And it says nationality is Dominican. Why is all this important? All right. Well, and again, for all you haters, that's on here talking about Chief Kalinago is from Africa. Y'all's just stupid, right? But anyway, I know all that stuff because I know y'all haters. Y'all hate. All right. But anyway, it says nationality is Dominican. Why is this important? Because I have a nationality. You see what I'm saying? And I keep telling my brothers and sisters in the United States, I don't have to be in the US going through what I'm going through to open up your mind and organize and make some things happen. I don't have to do that. But the ancestors put something in me that said, hey, listen, this is where you need to be. And this is your purpose because your ancestors traveled the entire Americas. And that shows up in my blood. It shows up in my DNA. You feel me? I could trace my ancestors all through the Americas, way past 1492. From coming to Dominica, from South America, the Yucatan, going all the way into the United States. I could trace all of that because they showed it to me. And my DNA tells that story. You feel me? So I'm saying all that to say is, I was sent for a purpose, a mission, so that you will not be left behind, so that you will get the knowledge. Because you see what it was is that my brothers and sisters in the United States, they put a certain spell on you that they did not put in a lot of places in different parts of the America. You feel me? Let me explain something to y'all. We had what was called Mesoamerica. Mesoamerica, Meso means middle. Let me break some things down for y'all. And that's why I keep telling you, I love you. You feel me? And that's why I do what I do. Okay? And that's why I do what I do. Let me show y'all something real quick. Okay? Let me show you what Meso means. So when I explain Meso to you, and I speak of Mesoamerica, you know exactly what it means. Okay, here we go. Meso. Meso means middle. Word forming element that means middle, intermediate, halfway. Mesos, middle, the middle, middling, moderate, between. So Mesoamerica was a civilization that was created between North and South America. That became Mesoamerica. It was where South America and North America came together. All right. Now, even if it was one continent and you had a northern side and a southern side, they decided to come together and created what's called Mesoamerica. In other words, they brought two of the northern civilization and the southern civilization, brought it together and created a super civilization called Mesoamerica. Okay? So a lot of my brothers and sisters that are actually from the United States, okay, a lot of you came from South America. A lot of you came from different parts of North America. You feel me? But when the civilization started to decline, they took that concept and they brought it into the United States as the mainland. So the United States became the new Mesoamerica, where all of America and even the world want to come to for the opportunities. But that used to be in Mesoamerica, the height of civilization. You feel me? So why am I sharing all this with you? I'm sharing all this with you because too many of you spend too much time looking at our differences when we are actually more alike than different. The only thing that makes us different is the location or the territory where we arrived on earth, meaning aka born. And of course, we have different accents. Somebody from California don't sound like somebody from New York. Somebody from New Orleans don't sound like somebody from Chicago. Everybody has an accent. So just to solely, judge people based on their accent, it shows your stupidity. You feel me? The American Aborigines are the only race of people. It doesn't matter where they are. They all look alike in physiognomy and their physical features. When you see one, you literally see one, you see all. I'm here walking, in town earlier today. And if I had to kind of like be like, hold up, tell myself I'm in Dominica, not to think I was actually in Brooklyn or somewhere in the US, because all our brothers and sisters, we have the same physical build to an extent. We have this athletic build, like in the Avatar. No disrespect to people who are big boned and fat. That's not our thing. That is not an American Aborigine trait in terms of physical characteristics. We're not a big bone people. All right. That is something that happened because of the way people eat. That is not our thing. We were not a big bone people. We are a slender, muscular, physical. Even our women were not big bone. No disrespect. I'm just letting you know. It is because of the food or the eating habits were changed. And I'm telling you, every book, not some, but every prehistoric book that I've read on American Aborigines, they tell you the same thing. If you see one, you see them all. That's what makes us different from any other race on the planet, even Africans. You could go to different parts of Africa, an Ethiopian look different from a Nigerian look different from a Ghanaian. They look differently. You feel me? It's only in the America we are one race because we are all the same. Okay, so why is nationality important? You feel me? So yes, I have a nationality, and my nationality is Dominican. But even me, I know Dominican is an illusion. You see, that's the thing about me. I could speak the truth. I could tell you the truth and not feel any way about it, because the original name for Dominica is not Dominica. The original name is Waiti Kubuli, which means slim or tall is her body. That's the name of Dominica. But then Christopher Columbus said he discovered it on a Sunday, Domingo, and called it Dominica. So even that in itself, I know is an illusion. But the reason why I wanted to get the driver's license from Dominica is because when I go back to New York, I'm going to give them their license back. I don't want contracts with the corporation like that, because it's all about jurisdiction. It's all about control. It's all about contracts. And that driver's license is a contract. And my people don't get this. My brothers and sisters, Chief Kalinago has a nationality. You feel me? I got one. I'm walking the walk with you because you are my brothers and you are my sisters. Okay? By birthright, by inheritance. So I'm not going anywhere. But I keep telling you, I cannot do it alone. I know what to do. I just can't do it alone. I can't. I know the significance of nationalizing. You see what I'm saying? Only we could make this happen. Nobody could make it happen. They can't make it happen for us. How is that, the RGBQ, APQ, LTU? I mean, I no disrespect. I'm not even, I forgot, I don't know the full name, but I think it's LGBTQ, RTQU, RZ. I don't know, whatever it is. Okay. I'm not saying that in to be funny, but I'm saying that to say is this: even if I don't condone that type of lifestyle, guess what? You know how much, why I got respect for, that group or that organization is because they knew how to come together and nationalize themselves. They are a nation. Why? Well, Chief, how can you say this and be so sure about it? Is because they have a flag. And guess what? Their flag has been flown at the White House. Their flag is flying up in Manhattan. They have a nation that's recognized. Because why? They came together as a unit, as a community. You feel me? There is no war in their heaven. They are equally yoked. My brothers and sisters, I don't know how much more I could tell you. I don't know how much more I could teach you. I don't know how much more I could bring it to you. And regardless of how you feel about these people, regardless of what type of name you call them, guess what? They are organized. Nobody said it was easy. Nobody said the road to where they're at right now, it wasn't challenging. Back in the days, they had to be undercover. Now it's all over in your face. It's even in the schools. Because they fought for this. I'm not saying I condone it because I don't. I'm not saying it's moral because it's not. But that's not the point. The point is, okay, I respect them for that. They stood up for what they think they are and what they believe they are. And they felt that they had certain inalienable rights, and they stood for that, and guess what? They got it. What is the problem with these so-called black people and my brothers and sisters that out here wasting time when we got moves to make? We could change this thing overnight. Overnight. Again, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy. I don't want it to be easy, because this life that we manifested in, it wasn't meant to be easy. No, it wasn't. You see, we all knew exactly what we were coming here for. People just forgot. I didn't forget. I got back the recollection of everything that I came here to do and experience. That's why I'm able to see things from a God perspective. And I know that I'm a God because I could see things from a God eye. Because I know it was just an experience. You feel me? You did. So all I'm just saying is, and again, I'm using that group or any group as an example from what I call a uniting perspective. Okay? That lifestyle is not my lifestyle. I don't condone that. I am for life. Okay? Being fruitful and multiply. That's what I'm about. You feel me? But the reason why I mentioned that, I'm talking about it once again, from a unification perspective to show you that when people unite, even if the odds were against you, even if you thought there was no hope, you came together and you stood for what you believed in. And look at where they are at today. When the Tea Party started as a grassroots movement. Guess what happened? The Republican Party started as a grassroots movement, but it started in Europe because the first Republicans were the so-called Black Devils who came here in 1492. They brought Republican parties here, and later the Democratic developed. But the point I'm making is it all started from a grassroots movement. My brothers and sisters, we have to start from a grassroots movement. Okay? Too many of you just think, well, hey, I just got to say I'm American Indian and the world is going to change. No, it's not going to change like that. We have to stand up and make sure that we put a stamp and make sure our flag is flown and respected. It's the only way it's going to happen. It's not going to happen any other way. You feel me? But you have to step up. We have to step up. We have to create that unification in heaven. And everything that we are doing within ourselves, okay, it is part of the individual heaven. But when we come together as a collective, that becomes a universal heaven, a heaven of many individuals. Okay? So with that being said, jumping back on topic, you may be in a household where you and your family members, your spouse, whoever, your children may not be on the same page. Okay? Because the indoctrination is real. And let's just put it that way. Even if you have brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, aunts, cousins, uncles, partners, husbands, wives, who truly think that they're African, then ask them this question. What part of Africa are you from? Because you can't just say Africa. Africa have countries. Africa have different nationalities. What's your nationality? What is it? And then you have to ask yourself this question again. How is it that real Africans and real so-called Black Europeans were able to come here and pass for American Indians? Have anybody ever asked themselves that question? Have you ever asked yourself that question? I'm even going to take it further back. How is that Joseph in the allegorical Bible, how is that Joseph was able to go into Egypt, okay, found in a basket and grew up as an Egyptian and became one of the leaders, the greatest leaders of Egypt? Why is that? How is that Joseph was able to be found in a basket, be raised as an Egyptian, and the real Egyptians did not know that he wasn't an Egyptian? Why? Because they were the same people, because they look alike. You feel me? So therefore, these so-called Black Europeans, these so-called Africans, the ones who came here, whether it was Moors, Hebrew Israelites, the Sephardic Jews, regardless of whoever they were, they had the same physiognomy and complexion with the American Aborigines. That's why a lot of them were able to blend in and mix in. Now, a lot of people look at Walter Ashby Plecker as a racist. Yes, he was. He was the one in the 1900s, 1920-something, 30-something, whatever the case is, okay? And he was heavy into eugenics. And people look at it from one perspective, but I look at it from another perspective. You feel me? Because you have to look at things a little deeper. Walter Plecker was creating two different ethnic groups, Black and white. Remember, Indians were still Indians. People have to realize that. And what Walter Plecker realized was that certain Black people from, so-called Black people from Europe and certain Africans, they were passing as Indians. So Walter Plecker did not like that. So he wanted to classify them as Black and let Indians be Indians. But you see, a lot of you who are not well studied, you will only see Walter Plecker from one set of lenses. But you know, when you're God, you see things for what they truly are. You feel me? Why is all this important? To all my brothers and sisters who still think you are African, okay? Let me tell you a little something that you probably don't know. You have more American Indian in you than these damn natives that are actually right here, right now. Because they did not mix with you. Okay? But you mixed with the people who were already here. The so-called Negro de Terra, the Negroes of America. Okay? I'm going to tell you this again. I'm going to repeat that. For all those of you who still convinced that you are African, you have more American Indian in you than these natives that you see on TV and these natives that are here in the United States right now. Because they're not the original people. So therefore, if you were the one who mixed in with the Negroes of America, who do you think would have more American Indian blood? You or the natives? Anybody could put this to the test. I'm ready to do this as a scientific, a biological, a genealogical, any type of terminology that you want to use. I'm willing to put everything on the line that you have more American Indian in you than these damn natives that are out here. I promise you that. So why is it so difficult to say, well, hey, you know what? If my people came here and mixed with these people, I am also these people. You feel me? So I'm saying all that to say is, it's either you're going to go back to Africa and find your roots, or you're going to join the people that your people came and mixed in with and say, hey, listen, man, I know, my people came here and mixed in with your people and they had children, whatever the case is. So now let's build. That makes you American Indian. A drop of our blood makes you who we are because you came here. You feel me? So why are you still so bent on Africa and so bent on being black? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, man. And that's what's creating the internal heavenly war. People are not equally yoked because people, again, they are just too indoctrinated. And we could take it even further back. For you to truly believe, and I'm using the word believe, which has the word lie in it, for you to believe that man originated in Africa, you have to accept the fact that you came from a monkey. Because that's part of the theory as well. Your ancestors came from monkeys. Guess what? My ancestors did not come from any monkeys. My ancestors were not Homo sapiens or Homo anything. You feel me? So my brothers and sisters, we could make anything manifest. Anything we want, we could make it manifest. All we have to do is say it is, and it is. So once we come together and we unite, you see, what you don't realize is that the United States became the new Mesoamerica. And everybody's looking towards Mesoamerica because that's where everybody used to look forward to, because it was the center of civilization. From every part of the world, it was Mesoamerica taking everything into different parts of the world via the Mississippi River and via the Nile, which are coincidentally the same. You feel me? So the United States became the new Mesoamerica. So the entire world is waiting on us in the United States to come together and shake everything up. You have no idea the influence that the United States has on the world and every part of the Americas, because it's the new Mesoamerica. We have a responsibility. We have a purpose. You just haven't found it yet. I'm asking you to see it for what it is. Because once we come together, the world is going to change. Not just the United States, not just the Americas, but the world is going to change. Okay? Okay, that's perfect. You see, I'm Queen Nefertiti. Check this out. You see, just to show you facts. My two ex grandmother was listed. Okay, my great 2x was listed as white. All right, but guess what? He was indigenous with land, but his children were listed as color and Negro within the same family. That is because white was a status. What he had to do, Queen Nefertiti, was he had to accept the identity of being white, not because his skin is white. It was a status of being white. So he could assimilate into what we call the new society called the United States. You had a choice. To be part of that new society, you had to give up being American Indian. You had to give up your identity. You had to give up your birthright to become white, color, or Negro. Okay? And Negro was a lower status. But if you had land and you had some type of nobility or you had assets, then you could pick the status of being white. Even if you were an American Indian. You feel me? So, my brothers and sisters, we are interconnected all over this land. This is our motherland. It ain't Africa. America is our mama. That's our mother. We sprung from this earth, this soil, the American soil. The only true Americans. The only ones that have the inherent right to be called Americans. We are. Nobody else. That's why when you go look at the definition of American, it says the Aboriginal people, original native of the Americas, copper-colored races. But now it's being applied to anyone from Europe born in America. What is that? What were they telling you right there? That our birthright was taken. Okay? So nationality is important. And like I said, even if with this Dominican nationality, I ain't proud of that because I know it's a pseudo nationality. It is still a nation state. Of course, it's a little bit different because, there's organic foods and there's less, how would I put it? It's a less of a corporation than the United States, put it that way. Okay? You have more freedom. Okay? That's the only difference. But even here, I'm going to do a status correction. Okay? As one of the original indigenous people of Whitey Kubuli, Miss Norma Dominica. I'm not playing no games, man. I'm not playing no games. So you see how much of a battle I have to deal with? Doing it in the US and doing it here as well? You feel me? And here's another thing with the freedmen and Tanya Pauley, right? With the freedmen were actually the so-called Black Europeans, all right? But once again, American Indians, okay, wanted to be a part of certain societies, and they became freedmen as well. And they gave up their American Indian identity. You see, a lot of people don't know how deep and how thick this game was. And a lot of people don't know how to articulate it properly. I hear people talk one or two things, but they cannot really break it down like that. Well, Chief, how do you know all these things? Because it was shown to me. It was given to me. Yes, I did some reading. I did a little bit. But trust me, I got the clarity from my ancestors that came and explained all of that to me. Don't ask me how they explained it, how it happened. It just happened. Because they are real. For those of you who don't think they are real, they come and talk to me. We have to shake up the foundation of this illusion. Okay, we have to unite. We have to come together. It's imperative, man. Many clans, one nation. You feel me? And of course, we could have different nations, but we could come together and treaty with each other. That's what we got to do. Because that's what they were doing back in the days. They were taking indigenous people from the United States, bringing them into the islands, taking people from the islands, bringing them into the United States and people think they're from Africa. That's crazy, man. But anyway, I just wanted to come and, bring a little video to y'all, man. I'm about to go ahead and relax myself and chill. I want y'all to know, man, I love y'all for real, man. I really, really do. I can, sometimes words is just not enough. It's just not enough. And, the vision is so clear in my head. The path is so clear. And once again, I'm not here to sell any dreams to you, man. I'm not here to sell you any illusions. I'm not here to sell dreams. No, I'm here to tell you that it's going to take work. I'm here to tell you it's not going to be easy, but I'm also here to tell you that it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. You don't go to the gym and work out and then 2 days later, you got a six-pack. No, man. You got to go through the process, my brothers and sisters. And that's what we have to go through. We have to go through the process. We have to go through the pains. We have to go through the growing pains. But I promise you, if we stick together and we don't deviate, we will be back on top in our land, running things the way we're supposed to. It's ours. It's our birthright. We are the true heirs. What's holding us back? We already have everything in abundance. The U.S. government shouldn't be in a position to prevent us from traveling our indigenous land, my brothers and sisters. They shouldn't. So why are we allowing them to do that? You should be able to leave the U.S. and drive to Mexico, drive anywhere you want in any part of America without using their passport. We don't need your passport. It's our port, damn it. We don't need your pass. We don't need your pass. But you see, we're not uniting. We are not coming together. We are not building together. We don't have a community. And then they put our people in all these different scenarios and different situations. And before you're 13, you got a criminal record. Before you're 12, you got a criminal record. Before you're 18, you got a felony. So now you're not able to pass the port because they have turned you into a criminal. They have turned you into a felon. So now you're a prisoner for life, perpetual slavery, because you can't leave. See, y'all don't peep the game. It's a prison. It's a prison that you are in. You don't get it. And I'm not here to tell you I'm better than you. No. I'm just a little more fortunate. And I'll tell you why. Because I have the freedom of travel. I have a nationality. I have a Dominican passport. My birth certificate is Dominican. But like I said, even that, I'm going to work on all of that. Because I'm going up against the beast. I don't care where the beast is. And the beast has no color. The beast is a system. You feel me? It's a system. And I was sent to take it down. But I can't do it alone. So let's give them back their felons. I know what they did. And of course, yes, some people, certain things like, you didn't have to do certain things. But you know what? You did it. But we're not going to allow this system to put our people in a position where we are prisoners in our own land. That has to stop. Okay, it has to stop. We have the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. We have the United Nations Declarations on the Rights of Indigenous People. None of that is legally binding. Why? Because we are not stepping up and make sure that it's legally binding. We have a right to travel over indigenous land without any inhabitations. Why aren't we stepping up and making sure that we go before the OAS, Organization of American States, and say, listen, man, we here. We never came, we never left, and we ain't going nowhere. This is our demands. We're not asking you for anything. Aren't you tired of being a prisoner? Aren't you tired of being a slave? Aren't you tired of being a servant? Aren't you tired of being a maid? Aren't you tired of being a ward of the state? Aren't you tired of being a ward, a prisoner of the United States? You don't have a nationality. You are not a people. You are a thing in a system. Don't hate me for telling you the truth. I was sent to set you free, man. You see, it's your choice that you are where you are. Even if you were born in the confines of the prison, the United States, it doesn't matter. You could free yourself. Being born in prison doesn't mean you have to die in prison. This is the new prison break, man. And that's why they have to give you all these distractions. If it's not, everything has a season. Football season, distraction. Baseball season, distraction. Basketball season, distraction. Soccer season, distraction. Volleyball season, distraction. Race car, hockey season. Everything has a season. Let me ask you a question. When is it going to be your season? When is it going to be your season? When are we going to have the American Aborigine season, aka American Indian season? Even the natives got their season. You think when we step up, not if, but when, it's going to happen. Because I'm not giving up. You feel me? But when we step up, we are going to get what's due to us. I promise you that. Oh, we're going to have some pushback. Yeah. And that's cool. Because I'm ready to take it to international court. I'm ready to take it into any court. Because now the burden is on proof. The burden of proof is on you. Prove to me I'm African. Because you can't prove it because there was no damn slave ships. It never existed. The only slaves that came here came in the 1800s, and they're the Slavs that came from Europe, pale-skinned people. They're the only true slaves that came into America. Everybody else before that came in as indentured servants. They were not slaves. And they came from Europe, not Africa. Okay? Facts over feelings. So when we bring our cases, we solid as a rock. Because guess what? They cannot prove we're from Africa because we didn't come from Africa. The burden of proof is on them. Prove to me that I'm African. Okay? I guarantee you. And when I'm telling you these things right here, I'm willing to put anything on that. I guarantee you, if they were to take blood work of all the people in the Americas that are so-called Negro people, I promise you, we are going to have so much in common in our DNA. And compare that to Africans, and you'll realize we ain't Africans. Okay? And you'll realize that we have a genetic marker in the Americans as so-called American Negroes. Y'all don't realize that, huh? Everything they do is to take us further away from our birthright, my brothers and sisters. Why can't you see this? Aren't we tired of the talking? I mean, we already know we are the American Aborigines, aka American Indians. I mean, what are we waiting for? How many more lessons do you want? How many more people you want to come with a video? Oh, well, they're the American Indians. Oh, well, let me tell you something that they don't want you to know. Damn it, I've been doing this for 20 years. People thought I was crazy. I was one of the first ones on the internet doing this. You feel me? What are we waiting on? What are we waiting for? Then they tell you, oh, well, we ain't got no money. It's a recession. So many homeless people in New York, but yet still you're sending hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars into Europe. You're taking in all these immigrants from Europe. And even the immigrants you take from South America, they're not American Aborigines. They're Spaniards. And then everybody's turning down their nose on undocumented immigrants. Guess what? All undocumented means is what? No contract. They're in a better position than you because they still come and get the benefits, but they're not slaves. That's why they have to do what? They have to adjust, and they have to make them documented, create a contract so they could have jurisdiction. See, y'all don't understand and comprehend these legalese terms, man. That's what undocumented means. No contract. My brothers and sisters, man, the truth is here, man. The truth is here. And it's really up to you. Okay? It's really up to you. So I'm good. I'm done. I'm going to relax myself. You know, today was a long day. I have to go back into the city tomorrow to deal with my father's house. So I got to go deal with that situation. But like I told y'all before, man, I'm setting up shop, making some things happen because we have to step up. We have to step up. You know what? As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to conclude this video. And even if I've done this before, I've actually broken down the declarations, right? But we have the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. But the United States gave us our own declaration. Why aren't we stepping up to make sure that that becomes law? Why aren't we coming together? That's what I want to know. What is holding us back? Huh? So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take a little break. Okay. And this is just something the higher self is telling me to do. And go over the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People again. I'm going to do a live because I really want this to sink in. I want you to see how much we are missing out when we don't step up. It is time. Even for those of you who still think you are African, guess what? If you think you are African, you are still indigenous to Africa. So you could still be part of an indigenous movement. I have all the treaties, all of them, from the 1700s up. Everything that was done with the United States, I got them. Do you know there was a tribe called the Snake Tribe? I keep telling y'all, right here in the United States, there was a tribe called the Snake Tribe. One of these days, I'm going to just go over a few of the names of those treaties with y'all. And so many different tribes. I'm asking myself, where are all these different tribes at? Where are all these people at? Do you think they disappeared? No. They are literally you and I walking around, but we just don't know. You just don't know. And all those treaties are still here, but they don't apply because why? How could they be applied to people that call themselves Black or African American or Negro or any other thing that is not part of the treaty? And that was the problem. The goal was to get us away from who we are so that these treaties would not apply. Okay? So I'm going to take, like I said, a break, a 10-minute break, 15-minute break, possibly. I'm going to probably, I know it's after 8, but I'm going to get me some coconuts, right in the yard. So I'm going to get me a couple of coconuts, just hydrate myself a little bit. And I will come back and do a live. I'm going to break down. Again, we're going to go through the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People. It was created for us. We have to step up. We have to come together and make sure this becomes law. Make sure it becomes legally binding. The only reason why things aren't happening is because we are not united. We are not coming together. It's the only reason. It's the only reason. Okay? So, don't forget to go in the description, the link for the description in this videos, okay? Both books are actually on here. Genesis to Revelation. Genesis to Reevaluation is about the history of America. I'm going prehistoric America. And part 2 of the same book is American Truth, European Lies. And then the third part of the book is breaking down the Bible. So that's one book. The second book is about News Flash. Everyone is a slave unless. And I'm covering topics such as nationality, dealing with the police. I'm talking about a lot of, trust me, the information is just powerful. And those are 2 books that you definitely need in your library. It's mandatory that you have those books. Okay. Period. I don't care what other book you could have. If you don't have those 2 books, you don't have anything. Okay. So, all right. Oh, well, Tanya, I appreciate that. Oh, you got the book already. Which did you get the Genesis to Evaluation, or you got the News Flash? Which one? And don't forget, it says that the book takes about 4 to 5 weeks, but I promise you, right? They just probably did that because it's print on demand. But mine literally came in about 2 weeks, and some people have already gotten theirs. Okay, so don't let that be a determining factor as to whether you get it or not. All right, get the News Flash in the meantime, and while you're reading that, then the other one will be on its way. Okay, but those are 2 books that you must have. You got to get that for your children. You have to get them in tune, because I'm saying the information is just so powerful. I just cannot, just I can't put it in words. All right. So I'm going to take a break, like I said, and I'm going to come back in about 10-15 minutes, and we're going to go over the American Declaration, and maybe another time we'll do the UN Declaration, but we're definitely going to do the American Declaration, which was particularly created for us American Aborigines, aka American Indians. So I'll talk to you. Don't forget to go in the description, click the link, go get your copy of the book now, give it to somebody as a gift, and let's make this thing happen. All right. Talk to y'all soon. Love y'all.